Damn it, Andrew! Every time.
I'm here with the most recently evicted house guest, Kaitley, and Brazil, Nicole, and her hot boyfriend, Evan. Now on Big Brother Cheesecake 6 Hockey Sticks. Hello, I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother Cheesecake 6 Hockey Sticks. It's day 60 inside the Big Brother Cheesecake house. 2 months of this shit has been going on. And this week, Karen is the head of household. Again, she nominated Andrew and Jonah for eviction. Who will win the Golden Power Veto? Well, you'll have to find out tomorrow. But first, we have here Kaitley, who was the most recently evicted house guest and the first member of the jury, the Queen of Ponderosa, if you will. Kaitley, we have so much to talk about. I'm going to start off with the big question, because when you were evicted 7-0, I thought you knew this was coming. And you got into the jury house, or whatever it's called now. We have to come up with a new name, but it's the house with everybody in it now. And you were shocked because you didn't think.
I don't know, because in hindsight, like after I had a little bit of time to like reflect and whatnot, I was like, oh yeah, Jonah did tell me. Like the night before, he told me, he was like, I can't save you, but I didn't translate that to I'm not voting for you or like giving you a sympathy vote. Mm-hmm. I knew I wasn't gonna stay, but I thought I'd get like at least 1 or 2 votes, and like in hindsight, I'm like, I don't really need the 2 votes. So like, it's not that big of a deal. I just thought that they would say, hey, I'm voting for or voting against you. And they didn't need to. Like, it didn't help their game in any way, shape, or form. We have their relationships anyway, so they knew that.
So what do you think? Because you had the poo round. So
yeah,
I had a poo round. And then last year in All-Stars, I felt like we actually utilized the poo round in a really interesting way, the way we worked it too. So what do you think happened with you having it? And something they could have done is what we did last year was save the person who had it for their following week, and we knew they were going to have to use it to evict them that following week type thing. So what do you think happened where they didn't, utilize your poo brown in a way if they wanted to get rid of you, maybe wait it out for when you'd have to go up or something?
I think Andrew was just the wrong person to be sitting up against, because Andrew's pretty like open to somebody working with him, and now that he's still in the game and has the sapphire, whatever amethyst, whatever amethyst veto he has, he's probably used that in order to convince people to keep him to stay. So I'll use it to your advantage if you keep me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's fair.
So do you think he said that to everybody?
Like, I wouldn't put it past him, but like, that's just playing the game. I don't know.
Because it is a pretty powerful.
The thing is that I don't know if I was in his shoes, I would necessarily say that to everybody, but I would somehow allow them to believe that maybe they would have a say in it, if that makes sense. Which is probably why I'm sitting here, because I led people to believe I was more loyal to them than I maybe was, which obviously came out.
Part of the game.
I was too wishy-washy. That's okay.
Well,
so you said in you go ahead.
Who do you think you would have stayed loyal to at the end of the day? Like, if it didn't get blown up, like, would you have jumped ship for Steven and Karen, or
that's what you said in your speech?
What's that?
That's what you said in your speech, that you were going to be loyal to Karen and Steven. Is that true?
And that's kind of where I feel like that's where I kind of made the mistake in the game of not making the clean flip. Like, Karen was HOH, and we knew she was HOH going into the next week. We saved Steven, right? I think that's the right week. It's all a blur, really.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you save Steven, makes sense.
I think we saved Steven. Yeah, and so we should have just made that clean flip to that side, and then when Steven won for the week afterwards, we would have been safe again. But obviously, we thought that was a 7-2 was a higher chance of one of us 7 winning HOH than the 2 that keeps trading it back and forth.
Yeah, they definitely do.
You can't predict that. Like,
Yeah.
we thought somebody would win in our alliance. I don't know. But yeah, we wanted to, I don't know. It was all very confusing. The lines were very blurred and we kept kind of teeter-tottering and not making a firm decision and then going with it type of thing. And then when we did, it was too late.
That usually happens.
Yeah.
And I mean, you did manage to get Karen to put up Andrew on the block, and then he won the veto. So then when Amethyst was blindsided, you had to decide between Amethyst and Jonah. And Amethyst made that choice for you. Do you think that that would have been a close vote if Amethyst wanted to stay?
I think it would have been, in terms of there would have been talk about which way to go, but at the end of the day, I think that it would have ended up being pretty close to unanimous, if not unanimous. Like, there would be talk about who to go, but in the end, I think it would have been a house vote, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Or
like
Jonah.
They might have flipped it on Jonah because Jonah at that time was a pretty decently aligned player. Now he's kind of fallen from that position, but
fall from grace.
So who are you most upset by, if anybody?
Ask Me Wednesday, I was a little bit more upset, so to speak, but I really shouldn't have been. Now I'm really like, respect for the game. It's all good.
It's totally natural to be upset. Take it from me. Take it from Nicole.
That's why I didn't want to do this interview day up. I was like, no, I need cooling off time because
that would have been fun then.
Yeah.
It would have been fun, but maybe not in hindsight.
Kaitley would be out here being like, "You're a cunt. She's a cunt."
I probably would have gone off.
So you could have used the Pooh Brown veto last week, which I like. When I first created it, I thought it's always best to hold off on that. You don't want to do it too early and, screw yourself. Kind of the way Curtis screwed himself when he used it early. But yeah. But had you used it last week, do you think that would have made a difference this week? Because you were considering it to take, I don't know, you were going to save Jonah, I think.
I don't know who I would. No, I don't know who I would have taken off. And like, I don't know. That would have been hard because I feel like I wouldn't have wanted to sit next to either of them, but
you could have saved Jonah and then you would have sat next to Amethyst and you would have likely stayed. But then I don't know if that would have made a big difference this week.
Karen see, it's all a blur to me. Like, I can't keep track of these days at all. Like, I would have never made it in the end. So in a way, they really shouldn't have gotten rid of me because they could have easily beat me in every single comp coming up.
Did you say that for your plate?
I just realized that now because the last day that I was in the house was when JoJo was in the house, and he's the one that told us, hey, you should take a look at videos and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I will go back and maybe look if I stay in the house, but there's no way I would have been able to do it.
Okay,
so I would not have been able to memorize anything.
So you saved your advantage that you won in Yankee Swap, where you had an advantage in a competition. You saved that for 6 weeks. You finally play it, where your advantage is you get to talk to JoJo one-on-one. What happened in these chats? Because he ends up picking Karen.
Yeah, but I was out. He knew I was out. Like, there's no way I was staying. Like, we knew the night before. I was in denial for the last 12 hours or so. I woke up, had a cup of coffee, and was like, okay, let's see this vote, thinking it might be 5-2 or something like that. I don't know, maybe 4-3, maybe.
Well, no. JoJo really liked you a lot, though, from what I heard, though. He said you guys had a good conversation. He asked how you were.
Yeah. So. I'm kind of glad that was the advantage because it made it fun for the last day.
JoJo's a fun guy.
It's
Oh,
interesting
isn't
because
Don't trust him till the end, but he's a fun guy.
it's interesting because
Jojo.
Andrew saved his amethyst veto. And in
Yeah.
doing that, it could have been a 4-3 vote, and you would have then only really needed to flip one person. And you could have used Jojo's going to give me HOH. So, and you could have talked this over with Jojo. Jojo's going to give me HOH. So if I can flip just you, and I have the other 3 people, which Jonah, Hearn, and who was the other person? Brooke. Then I'll keep you safe, and I'll go after Karen and Steven or whoever.
Oh, where's my no, not Mike Boogie. That's not good anymore. The other one.
No,
Dan.
well.
Where's my Dan?
I don't know. See, I never was a huge fan of Dan.
Dan, he's
Nah. He played well in season 10, but in 14, he was just so cocky.
Because he was presented as the coach to start.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, he picked a great team there.
Yeah.
And he used
Jody,
Danielle like a
Danielle and Kara. Yeah. And 2
Yeah.
of them went out week 1. So that was a great start for Dan.
hey, at least he got to the final too.
yeah.
Did you throw any competitions throughout the season? Because you won 2 in a row early, and a lot of people thought, okay, she's going to be a comp beast, and then nothing really materialized after.
I didn't really throw competitions. I just guesstimated competitions. Like the competition I won for HOH, like I looked at the questions and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to figure out the answer to these. And I just put true, false, true, false, true, true, false, false. And then I ended up winning because it was a knockout competition, and I just happened to get the one right that knocked out everybody. And then it was on 3.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
right.
it was based on survey, which the surveys are like shared completely between everybody, which is everybody has a spreadsheet for it.
Yeah.
Did you give your real survey to other people?
I actually space case like I am. I'm pretty sure that I was asked for it and then I never followed up and handed it in.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
And nobody followed back up with me, and I was like, okay.
Was it harder for you to answer those questions because you've tried all the cheesecakes and you know that a lot of them don't actually taste like what you would think they would taste like?
A little bit. Like, I think that cookie dough is definitely overrated. I don't think everybody rates cookie dough high.
Yes.
I would.
Tried it.
Cookie dough cheesecake?
It's not that good at Cheesecake Factory though.
But exactly. It just has like a cut, like 5 cookie dough bites like on it. It's not.
And it has walnuts in it. Is it walnuts or pecans? I think it's walnuts.
One of them.
It's not that good.
And then I don't generally like Oreo, but the Oreo Dream Extreme is really good, even though I don't like Oreo. So
I love salted caramel.
Yes, that's my second favorite now. They all got bumped up one after Hazelnut Crunch got eliminated, which that's my favorite one.
I usually get original cheesecake. Just
that one's good too.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Don't go too crazy.
Are you excited for Joanne's recipe on Monday? She's gonna be here. We're gonna be making Christmas fruitcake. It's gonna be so good. Yeah.
Oh, Joanne.
So Nicole has lost another person.
Yeah, I mean, really. I'm so sorry I chose you. If I didn't draft you, you would still be in the game. So
I'm lucky to have gotten past week 1. Like, thank you for Megan for quitting. Even though I won veto, I still probably was the one that was going to get voted out just because I was absent. Because Andrew, can I read to you what he said, what we signed up for? One moment.
Oh yeah, I know. It's like
he said
none of your time will be taken.
It'll only take like 1 day out of the week.
You
have to be present.
Some people work all the time.
Assuming you stay the whole time, but some days have minimal or zero activity. Okay. It's just the HOH and veto competition each week, and you might not even play in all of them anyway.
Right. Nicole didn't play.
I didn't.
You phone it in. Like, this was a full-time job.
Andrew's catfishing people into the game.
Honestly,
Andrew's like, I was living in Salem. It hit October. I worked at a witchcraft shop. Like, I kept saying, like, this is gonna be such a busy time. I don't know if I can do it. Andrew's like, no, it won't take any of your time. Like, you just, like, take a glance at your phone. Like, Oh my gosh. Charlene thought I didn't say hello to her.
And I was like, wow, this is a lot. I can't imagine working full time. I can't, like, poor Andrew having to like fight against me, who's home, or like stay at home mom, going, okay, let's go for the votes on Saturday. And he's like driving bus, like, ain't no thing. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, Andrew's, speaking of people that are trash, Andrew is trash.
Wait, not Andrew that's playing.
But this one.
Oh, this one?
So yeah, so Nicole just has Corey and Jonah left. Everybody else is Brazil.
Sorry.
So
It's a,
One
all right, well,
so
my two little heroes.
who do you think is in danger right now with Karen as HOH?
Probably Jonah.
I think so.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wins Vita.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of allies recently, so I feel kind of bad for him, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
He's been dealt a bad hand in terms of comp wins and stuff.
He was dealt a bad hand when I chose him to be on my team. So
Yeah, it's all your fault. All yours.
seems like.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm going to try not to be too hard on Jonah because there was a turning point in the game where I think Jonah stumbled. I'm not going to say what it is, but if he gets evicted this week, I'm going to point that out. Kind of like when Rai decided to force Kat to let CJ win the thingamajig, and then that. So to make a long story short, it was.
No deal.
Rai really wanted Brandon out, like badly, and Brandon wasn't really a threat to anybody. Brandon was kind of like Andrew. Mind you, Andrew's still here, so I don't know.
We were in the same department.
Yeah. So so Ryan gets Kat to throw the veto to CJ. And because of that, CJ stayed in the game, used her Emerald veto to veto Rai's HOH win. That HOH win went to Lindsay in the random draw. So that was a successful use of the Emerald veto. And that week, Rai was evicted. And he still to this day denies that that's why he was evicted. I'm like, it was literally that moment that changed the course of the entire second half of the game.
Such a good Big Brother player in real life and online. He's terrific.
He is funny. I mean, would I want to play the real game with him? I don't think so, being locked in a house with him, but he's fun otherwise, I think.
He's entertainment.
If he likes you, he's fun.
Okay. Who do you think is going to win, and who do you want to see win?
I think Karen's gonna win probably. Who do I want to win? It's no secret. It's Jonah, probably.
Okay. A lot of people come in here and have kind of trashed Karen. You haven't really done that. Is that are you just being nice, or do you?
No, she's Karen from Canada. I'm kind of a fangirl.
Okay.
No, I was there for a different reason.
I love like the Big Brother game in general, and I'm a huge super fan of that, and that's how I kind of like got into this type of thing with you. Yeah. And then I am a big fan of Rob has a podcast, and she's she calls in all the time, and she's Karen from Canada. So when she told me that she was who she was, I was like, oh my god. So I can't really get mad at her for playing the game, because like she literally told me that she's willing to cut Steven. Why wouldn't she be willing to cut me? Like it does, like, you know what I mean? I should have known. Like,
would you agree that Karen is very good at being such a really like warm, humble, loving person in real life, which is true, that it makes her a great villain in the game, and that she's able to play sort of like Sandra, but with a smile on her face, and everybody still loves you, as opposed to Russell, who's kind of like a butt face in real life. You know, I'm Russell Hantz, and I'm the greatest player of all time.
I should have won.
Yeah. So,
no, yeah.
Yeah. Like her personality helps her big time in orgs. Yeah.
And like also she gives the information first, so you kind of feel like she's telling you everything, and then when you don't give her the information back type of thing, she can catch you in well, you didn't tell me this type of thing. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Oh no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So you had the purple properties, or as I like to call them, homeless bum road, Mediterranean Avenue and Baltic Avenue.
That's all I had last year.
Purple's my favorite color, so I was really happy to get those.
No, I had the shanty towns. Never mind.
So you get Shantytown. And so you get oh damn it. Sorry. Microsoft Word just decides it wants to crash every now and then. So it's just reloading. So who would you like to give the purple color set to?
I'll give them to Jonah.
Okay.
What
So
happens? Oh, so then if Jonah's evicted, just hypothetically, then he just gives them to someone else?
Yeah, I think.
Yes. He only gets to give one away. He has 3. So in that case, the next head of household winner would get one of them. He would get to give one away, and the third would go to a random draw. So yeah. So purple and light blue. So that whole row is Jonah. Pink is Steven. Red is Rhonda. Yellow is Steven.
Named.
What's that?
He who must not be named.
Oh, sorry. Karen has 4 sets that are currently on Facebook in a poll being given away. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with these numbers.
That's crazy.
I saw Corey posted on his wall.
Let me just pull it up.
Andrew had I just saw 86 votes or something.
He has 94 now.
Yeah.
God, I didn't see that.
Yeah. And Corey's
But I
below
believe
him.
it. I think he posted on his wall too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for
Ton.
some reason on my computer's being a little bitch. Hold on, let me pull it up on my.
Is that chai tea? That looks delicious.
No, it's just English breakfast with cream. 'Cause I
Oh.
don't-
English breakfast. tea.
Very British of you.
Yeah.
Corey, wow.
Australia.
Andrew has 96 votes.
Wow.
Corey has 77. Rhonda has 25. And then Brooke and Steven are tied in 4th with 24. So one of them is going to get one and one is not. Hearn only has 4 and Jonah has 1.
I had to remove mine.
For some reason, the alumni don't like Jonah. I don't know why. It's weird.
I thought Jonah's very entertaining.
I like Jonah.
Yeah.
I do too. Now I will say,
I like Jonah.
and I asked Amethyst this too last week. What I was on that call with you guys. Like, what the hell happened? Why did you vote out Jit when you had Steven wide open? And I you know what? I kind of get you because you were with Karen and Steven in that Team Chaos thing.
Yeah, I definitely want, I was working overtime to keep Steven in the game. And so I was trying my best to get them to keep him in the game. Obviously that shouldn't have happened, but
Yeah.
I really especially on that call, I was just kind of jonesing for a big move. Again, the super fan in me, I was I want to play, let's go type of thing. It wasn't the best move. If we had have flipped completely, like I said before, and flipped right over to Steven and Karen, then we probably could have been a little bit further, but I don't think we were making it to the end.
But who's we when you say that?
Jonah, Amethyst.
Okay. It's just
Why do I was wondering this, and I mean, weird time to bring it up. Why do we think, because I know Amethyst did this last week, Amy and Megan, why do we think this season more people are quitting, asking to be evicted than I think we've seen in any other season?
It is
Sure.
a little bit overwhelming in the house, I feel.
I mean, we were in All Stars. I mean, I just can't imagine the
I don't think I could no. I don't think I could do another season. It's very I don't know. I would wake up and there'd be 96 messages or whatever, and I'd be I'm not even scrolling up to the top to miss or read what I missed. I'm just catching up from the last I don't know 20 messages, and then going from there. It just was a lot, and
Yeah.
I think that people are forming very, very strong bonds that are talking a lot, so because they're talking more, and the people that aren't talking as much aren't forming as strong bonds type of thing.
I really, really wanted to win an org, so I decided to just sign up for every single one possible. And at one point, I was playing in 6 at once.
Oh, are you talking about during All Stars?
It was crazy. I
How
had
do
to
you
been
keep people straight?
Oh, there were times when I was like, we need to vote out. What was it? We'll just say, we need to vote out Steve. And someone would be like, oh, no, it was Brian. We need to vote out Brian. Who's Brian? There's no Brian in this game. And I'm like, oh, you're in that game. Oops. Never mind.
I mean,
Way to use our alliance name for that one.
Oh, that's right. They had an alliance called Brian. It was,
We made Final Six.
yeah, how'd that work out for you?
I think it worked out well.
I mean,
Yeah, there was a 1 week period. Yeah.
I'm not bitter at all still.
I don't give a fuck.
I mean, it's totally normal to feel that way. It is.
I'm joking. I don't give a fuck anymore.
But I am happy that 2 days later, Kaitley, you're feeling great because a couple people this season did not have happy exits and are still not thrilled.
no, I just need like I turned off my. Well, I didn't turn off my phone, but like I turned it off as much as I could, and just like got away from it. And I felt so relieved to not have to wake up and have to open the group chat type of thing. It was just bliss.
But now you get to wake up and open the extra whip chat, or
Yes.
it's now the Big Brother Cheesecake 6 jury and friends house chat.
Good friends.
We're all happy.
Andrew, did we ever get an answer on who started the Savers?
Yeah, who started the Savers?
I think.
Who?
100% certain.
Brooke?
Did you say?
Everything is a blur to me. I'm telling you.
Did you say Brooke though?
I think so. I'm pretty sure she also admitted that on Saturday sometime in her spiel.
So what do you? I feel like we don't hear much from Brooke, and she's still in the game. So how do you think she's going to do coming up as the game proceeds?
I think she tried to flip over with Steven and Karen and is probably caught in the same crosshairs that I am, and she's probably not making it much further either. I'm sorry, Brooke. I'm sorry. Love you.
Do you think, well, but if she wins, okay, if she wins the Golden Veto this week, it's upgraded to Diamond Veto. Do you think she would take a shot and put Steven up, or do you think she would?
Oh, absolutely. I think that at this point, the house is like every man for themselves, other than like, I think Rhonda and Corey are stuck together like glue. And as much as Karen and Steven are stuck together, they're not at the same time. Like they're very willing to cut each other. So I think the house is pretty open.
Okay. And where does Andrew fit into this? Because I've been saying for weeks now that he's just the Homer Simpson in a pool with a hot dog.
I think he cut some deals for that veto. Like, don't make me use that veto and we'll use the veto together. He had to have cut deals. Like to get it to be 7-0. Like, I'm not trying to shoot my own horn, but like I had the poop. Had a guaranteed shot at me later on. Like
100%.
you didn't need to take it to now, and that's fine. But like there had to be deals cut, especially for not using it. Like they would have wanted to flush it then. Like Karen and Steven wanted to flush it. If all of a sudden they're voting the opposite way, they obviously cut a deal with Andrew.
Yeah.
That's a fair assumption.
Maybe.
Who? Oh crap! I lost my trail. Oh, who do you want to see win the Golden Power Veto this week?
Let's throw Brooke in there.
Want to see Brooke? Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think that would take it up a little bit.
All right.
That would be, I mean, that's a very interesting veto to have at this point in the game with, like you said, every man for themselves, kind of, if that's how it actually is.
I think it's at least close to that. Like,
Yeah.
there's fractures for sure everywhere.
See what comes up then. How many days total is it now? You shortened
60.
it.
Oh
What?
my god, it's like forever.
60.
What?
What did you ask?
Yeah.
How many
Me?
days is the game this season?
85.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't we do 99?
You did 100.
Right? Yes. That's right.
Because that was necessary.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Kaitley, I hope you had fun.
I
It was
did.
so much fun having you.
Yeah.
I can't wait till a reunion. I think this season might be the first to actually do a reunion.
Yay.
I know.
Like in person?
Yeah.
Baby
Right?
Grace make a cameo.
Yes. Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts since we're starting to run short on time?
3 minutes.
Floaters, grab a life vest. Somebody's coming for you. It's not me, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. Well, I like that. With that said, who will win the golden power of veto? Find out tomorrow. And Monday, will they use it to save Andrew or Jonah from the chopping block? Tuesday, and Joanne's famous fruitcake recipe. Tuesday is the goal, is the final two nominees plead their case. And we learn the rules for the next head of household competition. And Wednesday is the next live eviction and head of household competition, where another house guest will be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 6 house, lose their shot at the $600 cash prize, be eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs, and join Kaitley in the jury house. I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Take care. And remember, sometimes you do the hard work and set the table, and somebody else eats the meal. And Nicole's boyfriend, Evan, is hot cha-cha-cha. Bye.